I'm here to share with you and talk to you very openly and vulnerably about why we decided to add weight loss onto our name for our social media handles and what this was all about. That I kind of talked some smack about the term weight loss, and I realized that this is my own journey. This was my own trauma with dieting and the pain that I felt during that time, because I wanted to lose weight for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to lose weight because I thought it was going to make me happy and it was going to help me find the man of my dreams and make me rich, and all of my problems would disappear and everybody would respect me and I would have all the confidence in the world. And then I lost the weight and none of those things came into my reality, and I no longer had my body or my weight to blame for it. So I was a little resentful. Hey, it's Nichole Kellerman-Worth, CEO of WildBeAlive.com, where we help women get on the same team as their bodies so they can feel and look their best. When a woman realizes how badass her body is, she feels alive and is no longer afraid to create the life she's always wanted. I know this to be true because it's happened to me and thousands of our clients. Welcome to the journey of getting on the same team as your body. Hello, sisters. Here we are. I'm here to share with you and talk to you very openly and vulnerably about why we decided to add weight loss onto our name for our social media handles and what this was all about. And for those of you who are somewhat new here, may wonder what's the big deal. And for those of you who have been around for quite a while, you are really scratching your head and wondering what the heck is going on. So before I share this with you, I just ask that you stay really open. For those of you who don't know, Wildly Alive used to be called Wildly Alive Weight Loss. In 2016, I changed over to Wildly Alive, and now we're kind of going back to that just ever so slightly, not fully. And so, yeah, I just ask that you really stay open. And for those of you who have been around for a while, remember who you're listening to. Remember who is speaking right now. You know my heart, you know my soul, and you know that I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the greater good, if it wasn't for helping as many women as we possibly can in this container. Because one thing that I hope you know is that I am so passionate about the Wildly Alive message. I wish that every woman could go through this content. I think it has the potential to change the world. And being somebody who's had a really disoriented relationship with my body, food and exercise, this was my healing journey. This is what I did to heal. And I have been teaching this work since 2006. I have been coaching since 2010. And so, I've been in this world, and my goal and hope is that Wildly Alive becomes so big and so deep and so wide that it overtakes a lot of the toxic messaging within diet culture. And you know that if you've been around for a while. So just remember that that's who you're listening to, and that is still me, and that is still my mission and my hope within Wildly Alive, even with the changes that we have made. And this was not a light decision. Please know that. There was nothing light about this decision. It was a lot of talking and discussing within the team members of Wildly Alive, with the mentors, with the Wildly Alive sisters who are currently in, as a paying client. And, this has been a really intense conversation over the last 2 months, because I understand that it may not look so good. It may look bad, or your mind wants to really judge this change. But the first thing that I want to really make clear is that we are still Wildly Alive. We are not rebranding to Wildly Alive Weight Loss. We are merely changing our social media handles, because what we're doing is we have created a small 6-week program called Wildly Alive Weight Loss. And this program is going to be foundational into coming into Wildly Alive. So anyone who would like to come into Wildly Alive Mastery, which we have talked about a lot on this podcast in the past, this is kind of the entry point. This is where you would come in and you would experience all 4 pillars: eating, movement, mindset, and lifestyle, through the lens of taking care of your body, getting on the same team as your body, and yes, weight loss. And so that was the main thing about the change, is we had created this small program. And since we want everybody new to go through this small program, it just seemed smart to add weight loss to the end of our social media handles, so then women really understand what Wildly Alive is at its entry point, right? There is a lot of depth here. It is a very comprehensive company. We have the 4 pillars, and it has the ability to truly change and transform your life on such big levels. But really coming in and talking about the messaging within our society about weight loss. And when I think about my journey, is I was somebody who really just wanted to lose weight. That's what I wanted. And I was told by society that that was the most important thing. That is what I should be focusing all of my energy on. That is not the right message, and I totally get that. And our hope is that we will help so many women see that their value does not lie in the size of their bodies. Always, that has always been the overarching theme for Wildly Alive. But when in 2016, after I had my son, I let go of the word weight loss. And to be totally candid and honest, I think that there's been a little bit of confusion on what exactly Wildly Alive is. I've had ebbs and flows where women have kind of got it, and I've had a lot of periods over the last 6 years where women don't fully understand the concepts, because there's been this fine line between, are we more life coachy or are we more health coachy? And though I really hate those umbrella terms, when I really sat and thought about what I ultimately love to teach on and what are the roots of Wildly Alive, it is a body-centered company. It is based in your relationship with your body and how you orient with food and exercise. And that's the foundation of it. That's the truth of it. And when we talk about, at one point I had a program called Embrace and Reshape Your Body that, still was selling some physical transformation. It was kind of weight loss in a pink bow. And that messaging got through very clearly. And as I continued to teach Wildly Alive, I realized a few things. There were women in the container. Well, first let me say that I kind of talked some smack about the term weight loss, and I realized that this is my own journey. This was my own trauma with dieting and the pain that I felt during that time, because I wanted to lose weight for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to lose weight because I thought it was going to make me happy, and it was going to help me find the man of my dreams and make me rich, and all of my problems would disappear and everybody would respect me and I would have all the confidence in the world. And then I lost the weight and none of those things came into my reality, and I no longer had my body or my weight to blame for it. So I was a little resentful. I was really resentful for, thinking that the weight loss was going to save me, essentially. And I associated the term weight loss with a lot of yucky dieting companies out there, and I just wanted it off of my company name. And I still hold true to that, and it was a very freeing moment letting go of weight loss. But what transpired over the last 6 years that I realized is women within Wildly Alive would come to me sometimes really wanting to talk about releasing some weight from their body, and the shame that they felt because of the way that I talked about it. And something that is really true within Wildly Alive is we talk about respect versus shame. Respect-based change versus shame-based change. And I realized that I was kind of infiltrating a level of shame to some of these women who really did desire to release some weight. They had now been in the Wildly Alive container to where they realized that they didn't want to do it for anybody else or to just find happiness. They were finding happiness in other areas of their life. They were really doing and embodying a lot of the philosophies with Wildly Alive, and they were starting to feel the shifts in how they felt and in their relationships, and finding joy again without thinking that they were only going to find joy in a smaller size jeans. But they did desire to lose some weight. And, I really had to sit back, as like, we really pride ourselves on not making women feel any shame. And there was some shame that I'm taking responsibility for, that I was kind of putting on them, not intentionally, but unintentionally. And, that really started me questioning, how I spoke about weight loss. And, as I gained the most weight that I have with Bailey, and, coming into my postpartum time and things like that, the thing that I realized is I was losing weight. And I desired to lose weight, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I had to remind myself of that. But I wasn't like trying, I wasn't looking in the mirror and being like, ew, God, my stomach is all like dimply and the skin is so saggy, and ew, really need to do some push-ups, and this is so gross, and ew. No, that's not it at all. I have been losing weight because I am so anchored into the Wildly Alive philosophies. My weight loss is not in the driver's seat. It's not the main driver that's, driving my food choices or my exercise choices. My body is driving those choices. And that's a Wildly Alive philosophy, is that I'm eating foods that are feeling good to me. And, honestly, with the dieting messages, the less you eat, the more weight you lose. And that couldn't be even far from the truth of my situation. I am eating far more than I typically do. I am breastfeeding, but I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to my hunger. I'm not afraid of my hunger. And I am a ravenous pig right now. I mean, bottomless pit. I am eating so much. I keep snacks on my bedside table that when Bailey wakes up in the middle of the night to feed, oftentimes I get hungry and I have a snack in the middle of the night. Like, I am eating all the time. And I started having the desire to start moving my body about 2 weeks postpartum. My back really hurt, and I was like, I'm ready to like go on a walk, get some fresh air, and maybe do a little bit of yoga because my back was hurting. Then I got super sick. I got the flu. And so I was like, okay, obviously I'm not going to do that. But then after that, my motivation and desire to move my body was an internal thing. It wasn't my head telling me I'm ugly and gross and fat and I need to lose the baby weight and then forcing myself to exercise. It was this inner drive. It was this inner motivator. And if I sat down and was honest with myself, yeah, I of course wanted to lose a little bit of, lose the weight that I had gained with Bailey, but it wasn't like something that was driving me or motivating me or forcing me. It was just like, it was in the back seat. It was in the trunk in my mind of like, yeah, that would be really, really nice. But it's not like it dictated my food choices or my exercise choices. And, this is a Wildly Alive way of losing weight, is that you're so tuned into your body. You're on the same team as your body that the weight naturally, unconsciously, without thought, starts to release. And you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, look at that. It looks like I'm kind of down a few pounds. Or you put on a shirt or some pants and you're like, oh, these are fitting a little bit looser. Like, that is a Wildly Alive approach to weight loss. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And when I think about so many women who could be falling for that same message that I fell for, that when you lose weight, your life is so much better, and all of these very masculine tactics that are really straight up abusive to your body, that is who Wildly Alive can really, really help, because our philosophies are so anchored into the body. And so, like I've really thought about what is the best way for us to help as many women as possible. And it's to meet those women where they're at. And many of the women are trying to lose weight. And we're here to show them that, yes, you can lose weight. You're allowed to lose weight. You're allowed to have that desire, because something that happens in the body positive movement, which you will hear as you continue to listen to the other podcasts. So I really want to encourage you to listen to the other podcasts for this month, because we continue to have this conversation with a Wildly Alive sister, with a Wildly Alive mentor, and a Wildly Alive expert of kind of how I vilified weight loss and women wanting to lose weight, and one piece of that too was, with the body positive movement, they really talked about how loving your body and wanting weight loss cannot coexist. And I just don't believe that that's true. I believe that you can appreciate and love and respect your body and desire it to look a little bit different. It's just like my life. I love my life. I love my friends. I love so much about my life, but I want more. I want better. I want more joy and more love and more friends and more abundance and, more freedom. I want that. So I absolutely think that there is a place for that. There is a place where you can embrace your body as you reshape it simultaneously. And that's the message that I want to get out to the women who are currently either dieting and knowing that it's really not going to work for them, or it's, could it really fail? Or, women who are really stuck. Like they're feeling just super, super stuck because they want to feel better in their bodies. They want to lose weight, but they want to do it in a more respectful way. Okay, had to go get little Miss Bailey here. So yeah, I think just one of the main things I want to make clear to you, especially for those of you who have been around for a while, is the Wild Neo-Life philosophies are absolutely still going to stay intact. Something that I've always said is weight loss can't be in the front, can't be the driver's, can't be in the passenger, can't even be in the back seat, needs to be in the trunk. And that is still 100% our message. And this is about teaching women how to lose weight the right way, the respectful way, the nurturing way, the beautiful way. And that's what we're going to be really talking about in the Wildly Alive weight loss program that's going to be coming up here soon. So first, we're going to run a free masterclass called Resolution Reset, and this is about weight loss resolutions done right. And then we're going to move into, and if you would like to jump into the Wildly Alive weight loss program and experience the 4 pillars, then we're gonna open up the doors to that right around that time as well. So if you're feeling hesitant, I just ask that you stay open and hear me out. Continue to listen to our next podcast where we have Wildly Alive sister Sheila on, and she kind of talks about her weight loss journey within Wildly Alive and how it wasn't the center of focus. And that is what equated to her weight loss. And then we move into Wildly Alive mentor Aaliyah, and she did join to lose weight, but she loved that we weren't focusing on it. We don't have meal plans or exercise plans or, are you talking? Or before and after pictures or any of that. And she liked this softer approach, which it did work for her, as she started to embody the philosophies. Do you want to say hi, Grumpy Pants, before we go? So yes, I just ask that you stay open. Continue listening. I would love for you to jump into Resolution Reset. We're going to get started here soon. This is going to be my first live event since I've had this little nugget. And so if you enjoy my live energy, if you're just curious how we're going to be approaching this, please look for the Resolution Reset link somewhere around here. And thank you for being open and for hearing me out and knowing that this is really just a shift to help invite more women in, so we can meet them where they're at and help them find a beautiful and loving approach to changing your body, yes, but as you know, there's a lot of deeper shifts and changes that happen alongside that. And usually the weight loss is a byproduct of that inner work that we do within Wildly Alive. So, all right, thank you so much. When in doubt, ask your body, and enjoy the next podcast episode over at sameteampodcast.com. Bye.